The G20 summit begins in Seoul, South Korea on Thursday. The topic of the day is currency appreciation, manipulation, and the ongoing global economic issues. Every state is going to be coming with their own plan, but really, there's only two that matter. The first is the United States. The United States is the world's largest importer. It's the holder of the global currency. It's the largest economy by a factor of 3, and that has actually been the state of affairs now going back to at least World War II. The United States has been large and in charge for that long, and none of the tools that the United States has for manipulating its economic system and therefore the globe have changed. The kicker is that the United States only depends upon international trade for about 15% of its GDP. So should the United States manipulate the dollar to achieve any of its economic aims, it will be the country that suffers the least as a consequence from any sort of international chaos that follows. The last time the United States did this was in 1985. The agreement that was signed was called the Plaza Accords, and in it, the United States threatened Germany and Japan with retaliatory tariffs unless they purposefully, deliberately, and over the course of several years, steadily changed their exchange rate for their currencies versus the dollar. Japan and Germany, two major global economic powers, caved. Country number 2 is China. Now, China is, if anything, actually more vulnerable to American currency manipulation than either Germany or Japan was in 1985. It's much more dependent upon exports. Its capital structure is much less flexible and more vulnerable to outside intervention. The United States could easily, quite easily, crush China in a currency war if push came to shove. However, the Chinese have influence in the international system that the U.S. needs right now. The United States is trying to prevent conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan from spinning out of control. It needs Chinese influence in Iran in order to make sanctions there work, and it certainly doesn't want a problem in North Korea just to top everything off. So the most likely outcome from the G20 summit is some sort of American-Chinese partnership on currency issues that does not require the Chinese to actually do very much. If you have those two powers on the same page, there's really nothing else that anyone else in the world can do about it. So it looks like the two of them are edging towards some sort of compromise that doesn't require a lot of actual action. And then we'll get to revisit this issue in 6 and 12 months.